Good morning, everybody. This is Travis and welcome back to the channel. And let me just start off by saying that we're not really a footwear or shoe channel, yet shoes are one of those things that we use pretty much on a daily basis, and it's one of those things that I do not enjoy shopping for. And something that's really disappointing is when you get a pair of shoes and they feel awesome initially, and then they just don't really hold out or they end up not being as comfortable as you wish they would be, which is what happened in my most recent experience with about a little over a year with a pair of Merrell Moabs. For whatever reason, they just seemed to get more and more uncomfortable as the year went on, and eventually they got pushed off to lawnmower duty. So I decided to kind of return to my roots, if you will, and pick up a brand of shoes I have not bought in the better part of a decade. So what I bought were some Skechers Escape Plan Trail Sport with memory foam shoes. Now, the funny thing about Skechers is you find them in some of the most unlikely of places, and I actually bought these at Sam's Club for $35.99. In fact, they still have them. It wasn't any kind of a clearance deal, it just happens to be the shoe that they're featuring right now. Now, these do retail for $90 over on the Skechers website, and let's just take you through some of the basic features they have, and then I'm going to share with you why I absolutely love them. So there are some limitations with buying these at Sam's Club. You're limited to the sizes and the widths that they have in stock in Sam's Club, also the colors. Now, these come in black, gray and tan, and also like a blue-gray color, which is what I bought. But at the Sam's Club, they only had the blue-gray variety, which again, for $35, and for the overall appearance of ruggedness of the shoe as a trail hiker, I decided I had to have them. All right, so taken from the Skechers website, they are called the Escape Plan. They do come in a medium and wide width. They are available in sizes from 7 through 14, and those sizes can kind of vary. The half sizes may or may not be available depending on Skechers at the time. Now, the features of the shoe, according to the Skechers website, it says, tame the terrain in style and comfort with Skechers Escape Plan. This lace-up hiker features a water-repellent leather, synthetic and mesh upper with an air-cooled memory foam insole. Product highlights are the air-cooled memory foam. They also are water-repellent, like I said before. They do have a lace-up athletic trail hiking comfort sneaker design, a flexible rubber high-traction all-terrain rubber outsole, which is the pro and con of this shoe, a 1-inch heel, and also Skechers logo detail. Now, you can get a coupon if you buy these from the Skechers website, and you can save a little bit of money initially, but I highly recommend you look around, check some of the online shoe retailers, check Amazon, check your local Sam's Club, and you can get these a lot cheaper than the $90 retail price. Now, here's another little spoiler alert. I love these shoes so much, I actually bought a second pair, and the first pair that I bought, which is now 90 days old as I bought these around the end of September, are currently drying off as they're just covered in snow. Now, the insides are nice and dry, but the outsides are drying off, so I'm gonna go grab them and wipe them off, and we're gonna show you what a pair of these shoes looks like after 90 days. So here they are out of the box. They're a very neutral design. If you have a foot that's just, if you don't overlap or underlap, or if your foot doesn't roll over the inside or outside, I think these are gonna be really good shoes for you. Again, the design seems fairly rugged. The materials are very tough on the outside. In fact, after 90 days, mine don't really look that old, but they have taken a little bit of a beating. And one of the best things about living in Nebraska is I get to experience 4 seasons pretty much on a daily, if not monthly basis. And so I've now taken these through snow, sleet, rain, dew-covered grass, a little bit of mud, hard surfaces, loose surfaces. I use them as a daily wear up at my job, and they're holding out pretty good for the most part. So there are some complaints that people have about the shoes where they say that the outsoles are separating from the shoe itself. I've never had that happen. Mine are holding up really well, and I sometimes wonder if people don't like overly abuse these things and break them and can't return them and then write these negative reviews. But again, they're really not a bad overall design, very simple. Now, if you're somebody that needs a lot of ankle support, these are really not gonna offer that. They're not available as a 3/4 or as a high top. But the outsole, the bottom, is where these shoes definitely shine. Now, the Skechers website says water repellent. I basically call them waterproof. I've had water go up over the top, on the sides, and my feet stay completely dry. So whatever magical material or coating they use on these things, it definitely is holding up well. There's some kind of some rubber protective parts on the toe cap over here that will give you a little bit of protection if you drag up against things or scuff up against things. They have kind of a similar kind of rubber protection on the back. You got a nice loop you can use to pull them up on. Now, let's just go and take a look at the bottom. So in the video, I call these off-road tires for your feet. They are a very aggressive, almost indoor football cleat style of shoe. And the con about these, let's just get it right out right now. They kind of clunk when you walk with them because like cleats, they're just kind of slapping the surface when you walk on them. They are a very high traction surface, so like an aggressive off-road tire, the crappier the surface you walk on, the more loose and unstable the surface that you're out on, the more that these outsoles are going to shine. So they will be fine on carpet, they will be fine on concrete, but they will wear very quickly, as I'm going to show you after 90 days of use with my first pair. Again, you've got a nice thick rubber outsole that goes all the way around and protects your foot. There's this foam material that's going to be underneath the outsole itself. They have nice back cleats that kind of prevent you from sliding back. So the only surface that these really don't do well on is just pure ice. And I've yet to find a shoe that'll walk well on ice without some kind of like stretch on, cleat system that you put on them, like little snow spikes, if you will. And you can put those on here if you wanted to, but on ice, these are not going to do it. But if there's any snow or glaze on the ice, you will get traction. And I'm very, very surprised. So at $90, they're pretty much competing with like Keen and Merrell. And I know you think, okay, Skechers, we're talking about like an outlet mall brand, a JCPenney brand. I would pay full retail for these if I had to. But again, I was happier just to pay, $35.99. Now, the other pro or con, depending on your foot style, is going to be the memory foam insole. So basically, you just have a flat pad of memory foam. There is just a little bit of arch support in there, but not a ton. They kind of roll down like this. When you step into them, they're kind of flat and then down. So if you need definite arch support, you're probably gonna have to add some sort of insole in here if you want to. And these memory foam inserts are glued into the midsole, so you're not gonna really be able to remove them easily. So if you have ortholic inserts, this is probably not gonna be the shoe for you. So they feel very flat when you put them on, and the memory foam kind of molds itself to your foot design. Now I've got regular arches, I don't have any problems at all. And so I've had no trouble adapting to the inside of the shoe. And overall, I've been very, very happy with them. They're super comfy. They work well with just like a pair of khakis up at work. Again, the high traction is going to be a con. So like an off-road tire, if you drive primarily on hard concrete or hard traction surface, you're going to be wearing down these outsoles, these lugs, a little bit quicker. And that's just because these things are meant to grab. They're meant for a loose surface that's going to be unstable, and that makes them wonderful. But on a high surface, high carpet environment, or if you're on concrete all day, these are probably going to wear out pretty quickly. Now, because there's a lot of space between the lugs, when you get into mud, as you walk and the mud dries, it kind of just chunks off and comes off, which is really cool. Slam them a couple times when you get home. If the mud's dry on the bottom, it'll just come right off. And that's been probably about the best thing about them, is they're perfectly clean, even though I wear them on all sorts of different surfaces. So let's go and grab my first pair, and we'll compare that first pair to this pair, and we'll show you what we got going on. All right, so just bear with me for a moment as we geek out here. So I've got my caliper on standby. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and measure the tread depth kind of at the center to let you know what kind of a tread thickness we have here. And as you can see, very aggressive pattern. Man, these would almost double as like an indoor football shoe if you wanted to. I know you guys ever played sports, you know what I'm talking about. So we are looking at a tread depth of basically 0.094 of an inch. Basically looks kind of like a quarter of an inch from what I can see, all right? Now, after 90 days, here's just to show you, these are, okay, 3 shoes here. This is my original pair. We're going to show you how they're starting to wear on the top, just comparing shoe to shoe. So on this side over here, we've got the old shoe. You can start to see some creases forming in the top, and this is the new shoe over here on this side. All right, and then we're also starting to get some wrinkles in the rubber all the way around, which is totally fine. That's just going to happen as you break them in. Again, they're just holding up really, really well, and I walk on all sorts of different surfaces. Concrete, wood chips, loose trails. I take the dog over everything. I can just go walk through anything with these on and really not worry about it. Loose rocks and so on. They're starting to kind of curl up a little bit in the front too. The insoles are holding out just fine. There's no material separating or anything like that. Nothing bad is happening to them. And at this point, I would say that they're definitely well broken in. Now, just to show you the outsole, what's going on here is this part right here is probably about 1/3 to maybe 2/3 gone towards the front. But the rest of the outsoles are still holding up really well. There's a little bit kind of coming off the back here, not coming off, but that's worn down on the back here. So what I always thought was kind of interesting about shoes is when you look at how your shoes wear, you're basically looking at how your feet contact the ground. And that always kind of had a little bit of an influence over the shoes that I bought. I'd want something with a decent amount of tread up here in the front because that's where my foot tends to walk. So overall, I would just say that I'm very, very happy with them. They smell fine. They do hold up well. I don't know if they might have some kind of antibacterial, coating inside of them to keep them from getting stinky. But overall, they're still in really good shape. And like I said, you can get them wet, and they might be a little damp on the outside, but it doesn't soak through. The material is repellent to moisture, and that's definitely a bonus. So something quick that I do want to add is that since we are in December, we are basically kind of midwinter for Nebraska, your feet will stay dry, but they will not stay warm. So these are not insulated. There's no Thinsulate in here, but with a proper pair of socks, your feet will definitely stay warm, and I can almost guarantee that your feet are going to stay dry. So let's just bring these back for a few final thoughts. So I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and read this to you, what it actually says. This comes with the shoe itself. It talks about the insoles, what they're made out of. So on the top, you've got a moisture wicking insole lining, which kind of helps pull the moisture away from your foot so your feet stay dry. They've got a high rebound memory foam in the middle, which is that kind of cushiness that you feel. And then they have a molded dual light base material, which is basically like a flexible plastic or a polymer or a rubber. And that's just there to kind of keep everything together. And then underneath of that, you've got your outsole. So they do show you what comes inside the shoe. All right, so how do these stack up? I've had a couple different pairs of Merrells. I really like the Chameleons, but they'd kind of changed the style of those Chameleons a couple of years ago. They don't feel as comfortable as they used to be. After having my Merrell Moabs for a little over a year, I just wasn't super sold on them. They just seemed to get more and more uncomfortable as time went on. And so I don't know if Skechers makes a lot of trail style shoes, but they're really on the right track with how they've constructed them. There's just a lot of good, just rugged design. And I think this is something that's definitely going to hold out. And I haven't had any problems with separation of the outsole with the shoe itself, and so they've really held up well. So we're going to keep wearing them. Maybe we'll do like a little one-year review and come back and take a look and see how they are. Again, I bought a second pair just because I'm the kind of person that when I find a pair of shoes that I really like, if they fit really well and they're comfortable and they're the right price, I will go buy another pair, just throw them in the closet and sit on them, because it can take me another year to find a pair of shoes that I'm really comfortable with. And I'm just probably a little more picky, but since you're on your feet on a daily basis, to me it is kind of a big deal. So this is Travis P11, and this is my basic unboxing and overview and review of the Skechers, what are these things called again? Escape Plans. Escape Plans. I keep wanting to say Air Escapes, and they're not Nikes. Yeah, so the Skechers Escape Plans. They're comfortable. If you've got a neutral foot, if you don't require a ton of arch support, but you need just a little bit of support, these are going to work well for you. If your foot doesn't roll over or outside or inside, they're going to be a great shoe for you. But the next time you're in Sam's Club, definitely try them on and see what you think. I've been happy with them. I did buy these out of pocket. Skechers didn't give these to me. Nobody's paying me for this review. This is just me bringing my review with you on a really good value and a really good shoe. So thanks for watching. This is Travis P11. Like and subscribe. Don't forget, we have a little podcast that we do called Caliber Corner, which happens Saturdays at 8 a.m. Central Time on my YouTube channel, Travis P11. I want you guys to have fun. I want you to be safe, and as you know, we will talk to you soon. All right, now go get outside.